Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade and
Shady.
the City. I'm your girl Treese.
It's Nels.
And today, y'all, we are here to get into the love that happens after the lockup, season 5, episode 37. Nels, where are you when I
Love
went?
me or love me not. This is actually for your girl in the first clip.
Jesus Christ. I thought this was so child. It just really speaks to who she is. But
And girl, and you did it on camera.
that
What?
that part. So yeah, y'all already know we getting into it. If you haven't already, please make sure y'all hit that like button.
And a subscribe button.
And I'm gonna rant as we get into the
Let me get my
episode.
fan ready because I know I'm gonna need it. I know I'm gonna need it this episode.
I'm so over. I feel so bad for most of the men in this. It's just a lot, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's get shady. Happy Saturday, by the way.
Happy Virgo season, by the way.
And happy Virgo season. And this made me very unhappy on this Saturday. Let me just say this. So True says that he's always wanted twins. Isn't that convenient?
Right.
And Shonta just happened to get pregnant with some. Okay. So you're terrible. So he said whether he's ready or not, he needs to be, okay, and says that he's going to get his girl back. I would hit y'all with that song that I always hit you with, but I'm gonna let it breathe. Okay. He admits that he was on a high after being released from prison and said that it hurted him.
He did. He's shown up this day.
When when Shonta told him that she didn't want him involved in her pregnancy, he plans to go visit and cook for her, to show off his prison culinary skills. Okay.
They was gonna have a cookout.
A cook-off. They were supposed to have a cook-off.
Because I was like, did he change his mind once he got to the grocery store and saw them prices?
No, they were supposed to be competing because remember that was their whole thing while he was locked up, and they were going to compete because they were supposed to be having a restaurant.
No, I remember that, but I thought in the car he said a cookout.
He said hurted. He could have said anything. Okay.
Agreed.
So he goes to the grocery store as Nails was talking about, and he's just surprised by the many selections of cheese that are available. He even asked, for help in choosing what kind of eggs he should get. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is the one part I do kind of enjoy about Love After Lockup because I feel like this is very real. Like you have not been out in society, the world has moved on, and you've been stuck. So yeah, even when he got to self-checkout, there are people that have been out in society and still can't properly use self-checkout. Okay.
He was like, where'd the money go?
Right. So I was here for him. We learned that he's been making money because he's been going to casino. Production asked him how much money he's made, and he pleads the fifth. And then he says, he plans to do whatever, whenever, whatever, baby.
I started to give it to you, but I'm gonna wait. I got so times. I'm gonna wait.
So basically, he said he want to be with her. He wants to help her raise their kids, and and then he gets there, and I don't think I realized it was 5 hours. I think when you text me and you were like, "Did he really drive 5 hours?" I was like, "Where did she see that?" But okay.
Yeah, he said he drove 5 hours to get there.
Oh, well, he gets to the door, and she acts like she don't want to let him in, but we all know that that's BS, and she wants him there. And so once he does get there, he decides to, first of all, he does have flowers. So he did do that much.
3. 3.
Don't do that. He tells her he tells her about this cook-off or cookout, whatever he said.
No, at that point I heard cook-off. I swore in the car he said.
And I'm kind of with Shantae at this point. You came over here, you were supposed to be down on your knees, begging, baby, baby, please. What the am I cooking for? That's not how this works. Now, had she known how it was going to end up, I'm sure she probably would have, just so she could actually enjoy the food. I mean, I can only imagine as a pregnant woman, and then you get served something that's just awful.
As a what?
As a pregnant woman. So he tells her he plans to make this steak omelet for her. And he also said that he wants to apologize for how that breakup went. Shonta tells him she wants to see action, okay, not just the talking. And so she questions if he's basically, are you here to use me again? And so he's like, no, I don't need anything from you. And he said, I'm gonna treat you. He said, I'm gonna love you better. And your friends will see it too. Shout out to Daniel. Daniel was like, you really thought through the whole recap.
Another prop. Order in the fort. Cut it out.
He said he gonna love her better. Anyway, so then she's like, were you talking to anybody else while we were broken up? And
yeah, dummy.
And he said that, he realized the best way to go about life is to keep it real. So that's what he wanted to do.
And I gotta give it to True, telling the truth. Unlike this lying half over here.
Yeah. And he said that, I was dealing with somebody, but I realized I want you. Okay. And so, he's like, I'm trying to be a better man for you, if you let me, let me hold you.
His non-existent babies.
Don't do that. Don't do that. And so anyway, he does, he serves her up. The food is terrible. She tells him never to cook that again.
Now that I thought was hilarious. She said, this is
your best dish? Right.
Look, you know what though? One thing I can say that I noticed in this episode, she was letting her personality shine a little bit more.
I did see that too. I
don't think that I don't know if she was nervous before, probably felt a little awkward, just being around him for the first time. I get that. So he probably did think she was kind of boring, but she did seem like she was kind of letting her personality shine a little bit more. And I don't know, maybe she's not so boring after all, but she's definitely a liar.
Oh. Where is my fan? Damn it, Chanel. Where is the?
I want two. I got one too. She lying. She lying. She a liar.
You terrible. So basically, he apologized for talking to other females. While she was hurt and thinking about him, and Shonta tells him that basically they're gonna take it day by day, and that he could sleep there, but he's sleeping on the couch. And I said, child,
for a couple hours.
That's what it's given. Because I wouldn't have let him in the house. But your thoughts on Shonta and True?
Oh, you forgot to mention she over there playing little kid game. Love me.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That irritated. But I guess since that's the name of the episode, yes, we see her while he's cooking dinner or whatever he was doing, the omelet. And she's over here with the flowers that he got her playing, does he love me? Does he love me not? And I said, I ain't played that since I was like probably a good 6 or 7 years old. And I damn sure didn't let nobody see me do it. Even back then. So even I had some sense of awareness and
let's get them off the screen, please.
All right, next is the lovebirds.
The what?
The lovebirds that are Z and Troy.
Here we go again. You the lies.
I'ma say Z really hurted me. This
she hurted you.
Really hurted me.
All right. So Troy and Z, they getting ready to go to Buffalo. He's got to go see his daughter. She says she's nervous because nobody there likes her. Okay. Troy said, that he let his baby mom know basically he ain't here for the BS and wanted to know if, she needed to pack anything else. Z is giving very much attitude. Okay, she said basically she's just trying to get ready. She don't even really know if she's going. Okay, but it's about his daughter and not about her. He said that his daughter wants
You
to
could
meet
have
her.
told me that. You
He
could
said
not
what?
have told me that. The way she behaved,
It was all about her.
thank you.
All about her.
The reason why they couldn't even get out the damn house because it was all about her. And yes, he should have left her, but I don't know. And especially because he can drive, I would have said, all right, you know what? I'll deal with you when I get back. And I would have left and went and saw my child.
Now he said that his daughter wants to meet Z, and Z was like, okay, well, I'm not about to put her in no awkward position.
Right.
So he's asking her, uh, what does she feel most comfortable with? He's still worried about his wife's feelings. He's like, do you want me to like, do you want to go to my mom's house? I go get her, bring her to the mom's house. And she's just like, basically, whatever you want to do, I'm good with it. I don't really care. She told production that Troy was on the phone with Yana. Basically, everything was cool with them, but nobody cares about how she feels. What's weird to me is you want them to be beefing?
Yes, that's what it sounds like. She wants them to be beefing so she feels like that means he won't go back to her because she's so insecure based off her own insecurities and what this spiritual guide has told her. Because again, she's still holding on to that and flashing back to that. So in her mind, if they're on the outs, there's no hope of them possibly getting back together, or and it's just sad, it's immature, it's terrible. And I can't with her and her ponytail. And then every time I see her apply anything to her skin, it makes my skin crawl. It makes me flare up. Like it's just awful.
Are you shaking the table?
Yes, I am shaking the table.
You that mad? You over there shaking the
yes.
table?
No, I told
like you zooming in and out right now.
Well, that's the camera. That's the camera doing what the good job that it's supposed to do. But yes,
no. It looks that way because you shaking the table.
No, it does that normally. Even if I wasn't, like, if I was to do this, see, it would do, and I didn't even touch the table. That camera's supposed to do that to always keep me focused.
Oh, it looked like it's shaking.
But if I shake the table, yes, it gets worse. But see, like, I didn't touch it, and it's yeah. But no, that's how upset I was. I just felt like this was very immature. If I was Mama Karen, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I get it. She's an older woman, and Shadeinthecity does not condone violence. But I might have had to go upside of her talking like, and maybe I'm one of the bad mamas because yes, you gave him a place to stay, but she was just downright disrespectful for no reason. Like even the mama said, she was like, "What do you want the boy to do? What is he doing?" Now we're gonna get into Mama Karen because Mama Karen, you don't help the situation. You don't help.
She ain't trying to. She don't care. Basically, so he heard what she said, so he came and confronted her and was like, how do you feel that we're cool? Basically, I literally told her that I'm not tolerating her BS. So she was like, oh, I didn't hear nothing. Basically, you said a couple words in front of me and then you went into another room like it was a secret conversation. Now,
this is what it is I'm talking about. She wants him to be like FUB, boom, 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 and be talking about her like the mama was talking about her for her to feel good as in her place as a wife, which is disgusting.
That's weird.
No, it is weird, but I'm telling you, that's exactly what she wanted. And if he would have been doing that, she would have been fine. Because you're okay disrespecting your baby mother. So because she's used to being, because you got to think about it. Where's her baby daddy, and how much respect does he have for her that he wouldn't even sign the birth certificate? But we ain't gonna go there.
So while all of this is going on, Mama Karen, she in the living room listening to it all go down. But apparently, this girl had a problem with him answering Yana's call. But it's weird because how is he supposed to meet up with this girl if he don't answer her phone call?
That part.
Well, anyways, she told him she wasn't going to Buffalo. Told him, pack your stuff and get the F out.
And you know what's so crazy? I was thinking about that too. I said, well, I guess maybe I was, again, trying to play advocate. There is no advocate in this situation. You won't get that in this scenario, okay? But I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, maybe Z felt like if you wanted to talk to your daughter, you could talk to your daughter. But I was like, the little girl is only 7 years old. It's not even like she's in a good age where she doesn't have to have her mom involved. Like I could see maybe she was like 11 or 12 and she got her own phone and she could be like, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, yeah, that's
well, no. When you said that, no, because my daughter has her own phone.
yeah, but she ain't getting up and going nowhere without talking to you and letting you know what's going on and you having
Oh,
a
like leaving the
conversation.
house and stuff? No, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
11
what
to
I'm saying.
12, 11 to 12, you still ain't doing that.
Well, no, you're not doing that, but it's like, oh, mom, I'm going to see my dad. You know what I mean? It's more of a little bit of a, I would say, maybe I'm wrong, but I just thought I was like, maybe that's the way she was thinking. But then I was like, the girl is still so young.
No, because because I might have plans with you. This needs to be discussed. Absolutely not. We're not just getting up. Oh, I'm going to see my daddy today. How did that happen? Who had this conversation?
I
Oh, this
hear
is
you.
something I came up with now. So anyways, Karen, she jumps in and she's like, you can't put him out. This is both y'all house. This girl said while he is in the house, while he can still hear, that yes, she can. Okay, because she could be with somebody that can do something for her. If that's the case, why didn't you?
Mm.
If that's the case, why were you waiting all this time for somebody that was in prison?
Because you needed a name on your child's birth certificate. That's why.
Wasn't she with somebody that was like that before too? Ain't that how she met him?
That was his cellmate.
But you can do better though. You can be with somebody that can do something for you. So basically, when he tried to talk to her, she basically told him, "Get out my face." Okay. And then his mom went in and tried to talk to her, and she really didn't make the situation no better. So he decided he was gonna go out for a walk. Karen said basically, y'all, what?
Now I have a question, and I ain't the fullest girl up top, right? But is it me or does she need to find her some bras that fit?
What are you talking about? Oh, she need to find some everything. If everything was hanging over,
I'm just saying no, because I was like,
it was real loose too. It was like
no, but especially, and the only reason I said that, shout out to Twitter, X the Twitter, we be on watching live, and everybody was like, yeah, why? And I was like, so clearly it's not just me, because I was like, maybe that's how the girls that are bigger, it just spills out, and that's what y'all used to. But for me, I thought that's what the whole point of the cup was, is for the titty to go in it.
I think it depends
On the type,
on the elasticity.
on the elasticity. Okay.
She ain't got too much of that.
No, okay.
I thought it was funny that Karen basically said that they owe her some gummies because they forever messing up her eye. I feel you, boo. So 2 hours later, okay, he's nowhere to be found. So they decided they're gonna go check the train station. She said that her parents always tell her, don't be chasing after no man, but she doesn't want nobody to think that she's the reason that he hasn't seen his daughter. But that's exactly what we think. Yana called Karen looking for him. She hasn't heard from him either. But Yana basically explained that, he can't just get out and do whatever he want to do, which when Karen shared this with Z, probably made things worse because she was like, how she know? How she know how he feel? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm so mad, because he be acting like he don't even talk to her, and here he is sharing his whole feelings. While this man don't walk 6 miles away from the house. I guess he like, we don't get to do this in jail. But look, I need to. I just kept running.
He put a whole new meaning to walk it off.
Right. Production caught up with him, and he basically said that he just wants peace. He don't want to be dealing with all of this all the time about his baby mom. He said he's tried to tell her that he don't want his baby mom, and this is what he gets. So
I feel so bad for him. I know that we might find some things out, or maybe the story might be a little sketchy, but I don't know. I honestly, as I told Nels, if he ends up going back to his baby mama, it's because she pushed him. I don't think she's doing anything to make this man want to stay with her. I think that she's pushing her. She's letting her insecurities push him away. Y'all may disagree, and y'all can drop in the comments. But if she ended up by herself, I wouldn't even be mad, because I feel bad, worse for him having to deal with her, make him miserable. I think that I think if anything, that's gonna be his way back. If he gets in trouble again, it's gonna be trying to escape her bullshit.
Yeah. So back at the house, she decided, you know what, this is too much. She gave up on trying to figure out what this man is, and she decided she gonna go lay down. Karen gets on the phone with Yana, and tells her what's going on. She basically was like, they was arguing about you, okay, and then when she gets off the phone, Karen is like, oh, she needs to go talk to Z because some boy been up in here and they've been having an affair. And apparently that's what Yana told her. Z is hearing all of this in a room. Okay. And she feeling some type of way.
Now I will say,
and she's like, is she up here being messy? Let me say something. Z was acting like she was gangster from inside the room. Oh, let me go out there. Da, 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 da. Mama Karen went and knocked on the door. And she had her shirt all over. Like, what you about to do, girl? You about to take your shirt off? What was about to go down in this house? Troy, you need to bring your ass back home. That's what you need to do.
Well, no, and so here's the thing, right? I agree with everything that you're saying, but here's my biggest problem with her. She feels overwhelmed because the mama is there. You invited her. Then obviously this was maybe always part of the plan to go up and see his daughter. And now that as we talked about offline, now that it's getting closer to the time for them to do it, now she has such a big issue and it's such a problem and she's losing her because they're actually going. What I don't understand is I think he was very, what's the word? Complimentary. And let me bring you, let me introduce you, trying to make her comfortable. And that's what I said. She's just not, she's wrapped as tight as that ponytail.
That ponytail ain't too tight.
That's the part. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at.
That ponytail look like if she do like this too hard, it's gonna fall right off.
Fall off, right. But yeah, so I don't know.
First of all, I want to know about this affair. I want to know how the hell Yana know. I want to know who this dude is. I want to know if it's all BS.
I don't know.
I want to know if Yana shared this with Troy too. I got questions.
Well, my thing is Yana's in Buffalo, so I don't believe. I think maybe Troy may. I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know. I guess we'll find out more next episode. But ooh, child. All right. Now we're getting into Hope and Arthur.
This was a sad one.
This was a sad one. This was actually a very sad one. We see Arthur, he's waking up, making breakfast for Hope, to make up for coming in so late the night before. He apologizes to her for, being out so late, but basically just tries to reassure her that, like, look, I was with my mom. And basically it was nothing more than that. We was just catching up, And so Hope lets him know that, she wants to start the day off right. So she wants to take him fabric shopping so he can start using his sewing machine.
I thought that was a dope idea.
I thought that was so sweet. And I said, and the first thing he needs to create or sew is make you some shirts that fit you, boo. That fits you.
I need your fan right now. You
I'm just saying. So they get
back and watch this and be like, is that what I look like? Maybe next season we'll see her looking totally different.
And I was telling Nels, y'all, now again, I done picked up, pounds in the last couple months. And I told Nels, I said, what it is, po baby, because we know she used to be small and then she got big. Okay. But I said, po baby, she's still in the mindset that she is that other size. And you be thinking like, oh no, I can still wear the same clothes, but things pop out, poke out a little different and get a little tighter when you get bigger. And then one day I had a very heartfelt friend that just came to me and told me, it's time to get bigger clothes. I love you, but the extra smalls ain't getting it no more. You need to move up to a small, possibly a medium. Okay, possibly a medium. And I had to say, you know what? That's a part. You wanted to gain some weight. That's a part of it. But bless her heart, she's still in the mindset that she's a small and she's clearly a large.
I don't think she was ever small.
she thinks she's a small, she's clearly a large. All right.
I don't think she's a large.
You stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not gonna do it. So then they get to the fabric store and he says that he feels like a kid in a candy store. He's just having so much fun. It reminded, and it's so funny, but it reminded me of how my grandmother used to get when she used to go into the fabric store. And that's probably why I despise fabric stores. Because I used to spend hours in the fabric store. Okay. But Hope gets a call from her sister Brianna. And she admits that she ain't told none of her sisters, or I guess the one or two sisters she got, about Arthur, because she thinks that they would be suspicious of him. Plus they live in Seattle, so she don't really feel like she need to say anything until they can meet him in person. Arthur comes over when she's on the phone and she basically shushes him and is like, okay. And so
he was like, who are you talking to? Like, he started getting louder. Because I ain't gonna lie, I did the same thing. Who you on the phone with that you gotta shush me?
That part. So once she gets off, she tells him that she, tells him who he was talking, or who she was talking to. And he gets a little bothered that she wouldn't let him, talk to the sister, say hello. And she told him that, it's his day. She didn't want to, she didn't think it'd be appropriate time. She doesn't want any, unneeded drama. And so basically now he's wondering, like, well, if you hide me from your family, what else are you hiding from me? And I said, well, so then
seems suspicious.
Right. So then we see they get back home and Arthur, she, tasked him with putting together this bookshelf. And he let her know that while he was looking for something, he found pictures of her.
First of all, that ain't even my man. And I picked up on the fact that energy was off while he was putting the bookshelf together.
Right.
I was like, girl, you couldn't tell he had an attitude?
Yeah, I could see that. If it was me and I didn't want to talk about it, I would just walk away and let him figure out the bookshelf. Especially if I know I got some shit. I'm just gonna walk away. Oh, he just mad right now. He get over. So he
work it all, putting that bookshelf together.
Right. So she's like, well, do you want me to throw him away? And he's like, no, it's fine. But, says that he does admit in the confessional that, her cheating while he was in prison and not telling her sister about him makes him kind of feel like he can't trust her ass. So Hope says that, since coming home, he's been a lot different. He doesn't really talk about how he's feeling with her. And he does admit that being institutionalized has affected him a lot. He's learned not to be vulnerable or show any weaknesses. And she keeps trying to get him to be open. And you could just tell that he's like fighting it, like he's really not interested. And I think also that had a lot to do with him being on camera. And so he basically talks about the psychological effects of prison and how it's meant to break you down. And basically at this point, he's like, all right, I need a minute. And he walks out of the house. And so then production gets a hold of him. And basically they take him outside for some air, and he talks about the buildings are shifting and people are starting to look like demons to him. This is when I thought was really like going crazy. I was like, oh my God. And so Hope comes out to check on him. And I'm not going to lie to you. When he was just staring at her, looking at her, I was like, you look like a demon to him right now. When she was like standing there and she kept trying to hug him, and he was like, not trying to.
It aggravated me that she like kind of started to like catch her attitude. Oh, you don't want to hug me? You don't want to hug girl.
And look, it was so crazy. I don't know if you saw how close production was standing when she was trying to do that. Because I think in my mind, to your point, the way she was kind of like getting the attitude, I think production knew. And this is nothing against Arthur, because he wasn't in the right mindset at any moment. He could have flipped on her. So I think they wanted to make sure they were as close as possible. Because I guess you can call it anxiety, panic attack. I think that was like a mental, like we saw a genuine nervous breakdown.
That he believes he has PTSD.
Right. So finally he tells her that he loves her. And she's like trying to figure out what's going on. And what's so crazy is that's when she really got scared. When the only thing he could say is, I love you. And I was like, and I'm not going to lie to you, even when they get his mom on the phone and they call her And she's like, "What's going on? You know, how you doing?" Da da da. Trying, and he's like, "I love you." And I was scared for a second. I'm glad that we know that they cut filming, and they basically provided some mental health resources for him, um, because I don't know those. Obviously, I can't say it, and I'm not gonna say it, and I don't want to speak that over nobody. But it was definitely the way he was giving out those "I love yous" was giving final goodbyes, in my opinion, and that just it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just hate to say it, but you know, it's even sadder because we know that he ended back up in jail. I wouldn't say behind Hope, but obviously it was a situation with Hope. And so knowing that him being in there previously did this much damage to him, I can just only imagine what he's going through being back in there. So I
Seeing
mean,
how
I know it sounds crazy, but prayers up for all of y'all.
seeing how she reacted when he wouldn't give her a hug, I feel like the only reason why she even let it go or semi calm down was because production was there. Maybe, let her know, like, he's not in a right
Like, yeah, he's not in the right frame of mind,
but
yeah.
let production have not been there. I think she would have took it like,
Yeah, it would have. It would have escalated. It would have escalated. That's why. Yeah, it would have. All right, y'all. So let's move on to somebody else who ain't got no real piece of sense. And I'm so happy Nels got her.
that is such a bad picture of her. She ain't even got no color right here. She looked like the words in Lockup.
That's what she.
Bianca and Daniel. So Bianca made it to Arizona, y'all. She's in her new apartment. She loves it. Especially since she ain't got to do no work to it. She said it's furnished. She loves it. Okay. Now, after being there a few days, she said it's been challenging because she's there alone. It's super hot and she misses her friends and family. But, she's feeling like, this is her first time out on her own, first time out of Florida, and she's doing her own thing. She is getting ready for his release. She decided to make him a little poster, welcome home poster. Of course, they're talking about what the first night is going to be like. Don't nobody give a damn about you.
No, don't give a damn.
You said what?
I said, don't give a damn.
They are talking about what the PO expects and what Daniel expects. He basically don't expect to have listened to the PO, or the PO basically giving him a pass to stay in the house of Bianca. Now she let him know that she was feeling some type of way, that she's not going to be picking him up alone, and he really wasn't trying to hear it. He was just kind of like, "There's enough of me to go around," and I kind of liked his answer because, boo, I just met you, and if you think I'm just going to tell my family not to be there in my release, you got me all the way messed up. So I love the way he just kind of like it. And you know what? It wasn't even like in a disrespectful way. It was like, there's enough for me to go around. It wasn't like he didn't just shut her down and like, well, that's what's happening. Because I ain't gonna lie, that's what my answer. Well, that's what it is. So I love the way he said it. Now she let him know that she's nervous about meeting his parents, but mainly the dad, and I think it had a lot to do with that mentally unstable comment.
Right.
But
then she just continues to prove that he might have had a point.
Yeah. So when she gets to the restaurant, as worried as she is, she's talking about meeting the parents and making a good impression. She orders the vodka cranberry before they get there. Now, even when the parents get there, the mom ordered a virgin drink because the dad clearly has been struggling with sobriety. Dad came in, apologized. First thing he said was, "You know what? I apologize for, the joke I made about, you being mentally unstable." Although I believe it was a valid question. Then mom got right to the nitty gritty and asked, basically, are you going to be drinking around my son? She basically told her that she doesn't want to stop drinking. And his mom,
Daniel says he's not going to have a problem if he's not going to be bothered if I just have it. And I was like, it's not about what he says, it's about you being considerate and
and she understands addiction. She understands. Is that, please? So his mom even brought up the fact that, girl, wasn't you in a car with a drunk driver?
I was just about to say that. I was like, but she didn't know
This,
that her friend was inebriated.
this is our point too. She said when Daniel asked her for the car, she didn't even know that he was drunk. He's very good at masking it. Okay. And all it takes is one drink. Then he's back doing drugs and stealing. One drink. I'm sure his family knows you a lot better than you know
And
this
you
man.
know what? You know what I think why she didn't realize, this is just my thoughts, allegedly. I may be wrong. I think she didn't realize her friend was drunk because she was just as drunk.
Probably. Now she mentioned, his mom mentioned that she lost one of her children due to an overdose, and she doesn't want to lose another one, which of course, made her emotional. Bianca apologizes for making her cry, but that didn't change. She didn't say anything about changing any of her ways, because, like she said, she doesn't think it's a problem. Now they all said that she wants them to succeed. I think the cousin said, you're real cool. And then she turned and asked them, well, then why did you convince him not to marry me? And of course, they cut it off right there. But cousin looked like he was a little tongue tied. I hope the cousin come back and say, well, because of stuff like this,
Right. Thank you. I was gonna say because of everything you just said.
you're supposed to be his brother. You're supposed to be his future wife, and you can't even stop drinking to make sure he stays sober.
I'm gonna be so.
To be a supportive wife. This alone, Bookie. Type of question is that? Are you mentally stable?
I told Nels I really don't see it for this ditzy bitch. I don't.
I don't. This next one. This next one.
Well, she's delusional, not ditzy. So we're gonna get into Julian and Christine. Now,
And
Christine is
ungrateful.
well entitled. There's a difference. She feels entitled.
I think she's a little both.
Okay.
Because
So
she's entitled thinking that he's supposed to do it, but she's also ungrateful for what he's already done.
Well, there go Nails with a word. So Christine is trying to get in contact with a probation officer. She's, all over the place. She knows she needs to report. And she's a little worried that she can't get in touch with him because, she said the last time that after she served her time for the robbery, the reason why she went to jail was a probation violation. So Julian runs her up there and she's able to get contact information. And so, then as they're taking a nice walk along the water, in the boardwalk, wherever they were, and I'm sure in Annapolis somewhere. She says she's a little overwhelmed with all the decisions she must make after being released because Julian basically said that he needs her to get a job. He said that he'd been paying all her bills. He's paying for lawyers and all.
She said that after she mentioned getting the second lawyer.
Well, okay. So my understanding, my notes say he's paying for a lawyer in Ohio, and then he's
she wants one for West Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay. So I had it in my mind that he was already paying for that. That's what you're saying, that's not the case.
No. He's paying for the one in Ohio. I think that's with the twins.
Yes.
And she wants him to also, well, she was under the impression that he would be paying for the one in West Virginia as well. But he's saying, I have all this other stuff I have to pay for as well as on top of taking care of you. So basically, you getting a job would help.
Well, Christine is, as Nell says, she's a little ungrateful. She sarcastically thanks him. And Julian lets her know that, basically he's been struggling, okay, trying to take care of her bills and himself. And he tells her that he needs her, basically, you need a job, okay? And so we can have two incomes and we can do this together. And so, she says she's upset that he wants her to go work and, talks about when he was with his ex-wife, mind you, she was his wife. They lived in an expensive home and went on lavish vacations. And I don't know, I assume, did she say that the wife worked? I don't think it mattered.
Well, I think so the way she made it seem was because she was like, if he expects it to be like that now and I can't work. So the way I understood it was the reason why they were living a lavish lifestyle is because they were both working.
They were both working. Well, yeah. But she wants this lavish lifestyle and she wants to be kept and can't do it.
Oh, and then when he says we can definitely help you get what you want, like this lawyer for West Virginia, if you get a job. Oh, but I've just got out of jail and I can't. So now I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. But when I tell you I'm paying all this stuff,
right,
and I'm still paying all your stuff, I had to come up with this retainer. I'm taking care of you. You have no remorse for what I'm going through.
But now, yeah, so basically she feels like he's changing his tune. Now that she's out of prison and she feels like he's hiding something and she plans to get to the bottom of it. Okay. And I said, well, now let's get into our last.
And what's that gonna do? Get you out on the street? What's that gonna do? Make you homeless? Cause don't nobody else want your ass.
Well, nah, apparently he willing to, ride or die. Ride, he out here getting.
What if he is doing something? What if he is hiding something and she find it? Then what? You got to go. Where you going?
No, you that makes sense. That makes sense.
Latisha and Keith, y'all. Latisha went to go see her old school attorney. You know, the one that told her basically don't go into business with Keith.
Yeah,
Arthur. Okay. And Arthur basically told her that the paralegal that you hired was some BS. Okay. He played you, he took your money, and let me guess where you found this, man. From another inmate. You big dummy. He said, no. You gonna wait them 8 months, okay, till your man get out. And if he gets out sooner, that's just luck. You're just blessed, okay? Other than that, he's gonna sit for another 8 months. So she wasn't excited to tell Keith this information, but he seemed cool with it. Actually, he seemed cool, calm, and collected. He said, he didn't want to get his.
He seemed okay, but he did seem super disappointed, basically. Well,
of course, because you expect to get out. He said he didn't want to get his hopes up, you know what I mean? And but he do feel some type of way that this dude sold him a dream, basically. So when she gets back to the house, she goes upstairs, basically aunt follows her, and the aunt is pissed. Okay. Latisha said that she know Keith was pissed, but he ain't showing it right now. Auntie is showing it. Auntie is pissed. Okay. She's like,
I'm surprised she didn't roll up on him and whoop his ass.
On top of that, though, on top of this drama, Auntie got the down low on this pink slip. Okay. Apparently, the house that she's renting and paying the rent to the owners, they wasn't using to pay the mortgage. And they did not pay the mortgage for a year. Okay. So now this house is in foreclosure, and she has 2 months to get the hell out. Okay. And yeah, this is on top of everything else that's going on. So not only does she have to tell her kid, well, the older one don't give a damn, but not only does she have to tell the little baby that daddy ain't coming home, she got to tell him that we got to move.
And I can only imagine she got, well, as we know in real life, she probably done had to have some other real conversations with them as well, because she's facing her own felony and fraud situations going on. So
she ain't looking at no time.
I would assume so. When it comes, they ain't playing with the PPP.
And it was a lot. It was for a lot, wasn't it?
It was. They ain't playing with the PPP. British Williams can tell you.
She still like her?
Good. Remember, she was trying to avoid turning herself in, and eventually they came and got her ass. They were like, "You're not gonna play on our top."
Well,
but yeah, y'all. So I hope that works out. So I wonder if we're gonna see them on Life After Lockup, because I do want to see what happens with her case. And if he actually gets out, because then I would want to know.
What's weird is, you just read something like not too long ago where he still wasn't released, and he was supposed to be released in 8 months.
I don't know, child. I don't know. We'll see. Look, I hope we ain't do nothing else either. But all right, y'all. If you haven't already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you have hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you've subscribed.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and IG. And yeah, y'all, make sure you catch us. We'll be live tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to do our recap of the love and the marriage that happens in the Detroit. Yes, we're going back to Detroit. What up, though? And then yeah, catch us at 6:10 with our TSF Entertainment fam, and we'll be doing our recap of Power Ghost. I'm sorry, Ghost, because you know that came back as well. So y'all, it's busy around here. But yeah, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for the support, and we will catch y'all tomorrow. Bye bye.